Boom, 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 boom. Check, check. Hello. Welcome back to River West Radio. My name is Christopher Rose, and I would like to present you with another Odyssey local artist interview, better known as OLAi, a live streaming internet talk show Thursday nights from 6 to 7 p.m., available to listen to at www.riverwestradio.com. We bring in locally established artists to get to know them, a little bit more about the city as we take a glance at their perspectives and what's happening on the inside of Milwaukee's creative culture. Today's featured artist is Crystal, Ulrich, and Michael. They'll be joining us shortly, as we do also like to apologize for the late start tonight for those of you who are tuning in now. Heavy traffic out there in this change of weather. Tonight we're going to be talking about a variety of things, covering a range of subjects to things that the artists have seen in the past, things that they're seeing now, and things they would like to see in their own life experiences, and more specifically here in the city of Milwaukee. Just a special announcement coming in here. We have a block party in River West at the 2600 block of Fratney Street. That would be between the crossroads of Center Street and Clark Street on Fratney there. Stonefly Brewing Company will be sponsoring the event. The event will feature live music, live art, a mini art kit, better known as an artist market, as well as other fun games and activities for the family and their children, and for the general public to, come down and participate in. So, block party, Sunday, June 3rd, from 1 p.m. until 7 p.m. We will be having live music start inside the confines of Stonefly Brewing Company. And following the music, closer to 7 p.m., we will be organizing a neighborhood cleanup. My mission with the neighborhood cleanup is to provide a calendar of dates scattered throughout the rest of the summer, which people can refer to if they would like to put in some volunteer time and do a little bit of cleaning up, literally, in their neighborhoods. We're going to focus on Sunday, June 3rd at 7 p.m. after the initial event. We're going to organize a group of individuals and all who would like to participate and target freeway exits. Those are freeway exits alongside of the exit ramps such as McKinley, North Avenue, Locust Street, Capitol Drive, and others that we cover throughout the summer, with the intention of picking up the trash that's on the sides of the roads and on the freeway exit ramps in order to create a better, more clean and vivid image of Milwaukee when people are coming to visit or when they're returning. And the first thing they'll notice is that our off-ramps are clean, not cluttered, full of trash. We're going to take care of that together after we all enjoy the festivities Sunday afternoon again. That's going to be over at the 2600 block of Fratney Street between Center and Clark. Other announcements coming up, we will be hosting an art kit. Now, art kit is a artist market. Now, the real artist market, art kit, will begin June 28th outside of the main entrance of the Grand Avenue Mall, where the intersection of Wisconsin Ave and Old World 3rd Street intersect. The main entrance of the Grand Avenue Mall across the street, where the sculpture and fountain in front of the Blue building is located. We will be featuring an artist market known as Art Kits down there. For more information and how to get involved with the Art Kits, email MKE Odyssey, that's ODYSSEY, at gmail.com. mkeodyssey@gmail.com to get involved. The art kits will feature fine artists, painters, photographers, graphic artists, some fashion apparel and music available as well. And that will be every Thursday starting June 28th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. during the business lunch rush. Joining us on the beginning of July, Notes of Blue will be featuring live music from local and regional bands playing during the art kit time from, I believe, 1 to 3 p.m. So join us every Thursday starting June 28th through September 13th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You can come enjoy some local art and local music, and while you're on your lunch break or passing through. And in preparation for that, we will be having 2 mini art kits as a sort of a prelude sample to some of the vendors that will be joining us for the season. The first is this Saturday, June 2nd. There will be a Brady Street art walk with live painters scattered alongside the sidewalks in front of businesses on Brady Street, painting live, and then offset the main path of Brady behind Apollo Cafe, which is right off the corner of Arlington and Brady Street. Behind Apollo Cafe, there will be a mini artist market for those of you interested in stopping down. That is a free event. That's a Brady Street Art Walk from 12 p.m. until 4 p.m. this Saturday, June 2nd. And then following that, again, the block party, June 3rd, from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. There will be another artist market within the courtyard of the Stonefly Brewery. So, for those of you who don't know, now you know what's going on with the art kits. Crystal and Michael will be joining us tonight. And for those of you tuning in late, as I have, this is River West Radio, and this is your host, Christopher Rose, giving you Odyssey local artist interviews, better known as OLAi. Live streaming internet talk show Thursday evenings from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Available to listen to at www.riverwestradio.com. And again, we're bringing in locally established artists to get to know them and more about the city as we take a glance at their perspectives on what's happening on the inside of Milwaukee's creative culture. And today's artists will be Crystal and Michael, will be joining us very shortly. In other news, a quick review on a recent event just outside of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Festival Jam for Jamaica, also known as Jam for Jam, which you can find more detailed information about at jamforjam.org. Jam for Jam is a annual spring music and camping festival. It takes place in the small town of Concord, Wisconsin, just west of Sullivan and Oconomowoc, off of I-94. Jam for Jam is a 4-night camping adventure of live music and art, bringing in both regional, local, and national touring musicians. Reviews look great. The music was amazing. Check it out. It's a good organization, jamforjam.org, where you can log in and support the cause. Jam for Jam is a organization that goes to Jamaica and does restoration projects, building roofs, educating and rehabilitating the local communities there. So check that out. And looks like our guest artists have showed up. How are we doing today, guys? We're going to both tap into this number one. There you go. Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
Testeroni.
Test.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good.
Do I do this one? Test.
That sounds perfect. I don't have your headphones in for yet.
It sounded a little dim.
Don't worry about those. Yeah. You guys sound good. All right, we're getting a slightly late start here.
Hello, hello.
I apologize to our quote-unquote audience. But, due to traffic and other, mishaps, we continue on our journey. So if you would introduce yourselves, please.
I am Michael Hesselink and part of Studio Cristal, which is opening in the Grand Avenue Mall in the lower level of Plankinton, right across from Art Milwaukee. Good friends of both of us.
Okay.
Odyssey and Studio Cristal.
Absolutely. And Crystal Ulrich, is that pronounced correctly?
Christelle.
Crystal
Yeah.
Ulrich. Very
Christelle.
nice. Yes. So how you guys doing this evening?
Very well.
Good.
Good.
Have you hung out in the neighborhood much before, River West?
I used to pretty much live down here.
Yeah?
In the early 90s.
Yeah.
Dating myself, but
Right
yeah.
I had some friends that lived on Fratney, artist friends, and I know another artist that lives around. What is that street when you get off the expressway?
Ooh, Pierce?
Locust, or
yeah.
or it could be Keefe.
Keefe.
That's it.
Absolutely. Just
yeah.
north.
Keefe, yes.
David Nick. That's someone else you should get on this show too. I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Good friend of ours.
David Nick. A River Wester.
Yep.
Absolutely.
His house is amazing, but
Yeah.
so
So guys, welcome to the show.
thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having
I
us.
appreciate you coming down here and taking time out of your schedules to come share a little bit with us about what you're doing, things you might have been doing, things that you're about to be doing. Very excited to primarily talk about your new studio,
The new center.
space / center.
Right.
It's kind of more grand than
Yeah.
just an individual studio.
Right.
It's sort of more of a
It's a
collaborative,
yep.
co-op almost. Can you kind of elaborate on that? Tell us about
Sure.
who's down there with you and some of the things that is going to be happening.
Well, it's called the Underground Collaborative Creative Center, and we're collaborating with two theater groups, the Milwaukee Comedy Festivals, who is with Matt Kemple, who is the founder and the producer of that festival, or the Milwaukee Comedy Festival, and then Pink Bananas Theater Company, which that is a nonprofit organization. And what those two theater groups do, they put together one-act skits or improvisations. And so they're really excited because they've always been trying to find a lot of a space that was large enough where several groups could rehearse their one acts, which are all put together in one performance, such as The End of the World, One Acts 2012 by Pink Bananas. It's going to be held at the new Next Act Theater on Water Street, 255 South Water Street. They're going to be having performances this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Monday, and then next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday also.
Again, nice.
And so I think would be great and interesting performances to see.
Where can people find out more information about that? Is there a website?
Yes. They can look up for information and tickets. They could go to www.pinkbananatheater.com.
And
so we're planning on going to see it. So
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
pretty
be
excited.
there one of those nights.
And in the future Milwaukee Comedy Festivals, we'll have performances taking place at the Underground Collaborative in the Arcade Theater, which is the large space that you saw today when you visited our center.
Yeah.
Under construction.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
under construction
lovely
still.
construction.
And my end, Studio Christelle, I'll have my art studio there. I have my art studio there. I'm going to be sharing that with another artist, Brandy Lyons, who is currently a student at UW Milwaukee. And then I also have another space available, as you saw.
Space available. Listen
yeah.
up, artists out there.
Another studio space for, I have workshop space and a mini dance studio. And so you could have the smaller studio space and then use the workshop spaces for 150, or it would be 100 for just the space.
Yes, and I stopped in there, and it is a decent sized spot. Tall ceilings, enough room for a few easels or a couple work benches, and there's a beautiful view. The
future fish
Plankington
pond.
statue.
Yeah, the future. There's a nice window that looks out at the old fountain that looks like they're transforming it right over. That's kind of by the entrance where TJ Maxx is in the Grand Avenue Mall. That's where you can find the space for those of you looking for some real local artists and organizations. You can go down to the Grand Avenue Mall right off of Water in Plankington via, enter the TJ Maxx doors there. I walk right in. That's where like the fruit and vegetable vendor is. He's out there
Good
every
reasonable
day.
prices for
Oh,
fruit.
absolutely. That's kind of a hidden gem within
Yeah.
the downtown Grand Avenue, area. And so if you enter in down there and go down the spiraling stairs, you can find Christelle's new studio.
And I'm working on hopeful parking arrangements that I'll be able to get some reasonable parking for people that come and use the center. So cross our fingers, everybody, and send me good vibes that I can get some reasonable parking rates for people that use the center. So
Yeah.
that's the next thing on my agenda to take
be
care
good.
of.
Ion Park is working with us, and they have to negotiate with Grand Avenue, so it'll go well.
IM Park?
Yeah.
What group is that? I'm not
They own the structure, the Grand Avenue parking structures. So,
Okay, IM Park. I'm sorry. I don't drive a car, so I don't notice signs like that.
And Mike is putting together a recording studio for individual musicians or smaller bands who are going to be looking to record a CD or just do some recording just to kind of test things out. The name we're kind of thinking of is Indigo Apples Production.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
I'll bring some caramel.
Hey, I like that.
That's lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. There's a new space in the Grand Avenue Mall where you can bring music if you're a musician and practice, experiment, record, and in the future, potentially mixing and mastering some albums as well.
yeah.
And we
I
could
do have
possibly
it-
do some videos for like a YouTube type of thing. There's that option may also become available because we are going to have that video studio as well. So
Excellent.
It will evolve into like a fully functioning studio. I can mix and master now at this
Yeah.
point with the software and hardware that I've got.
Okay.
and we'll have instruments there so that you don't we're gonna have a full drum set, so a drummer would not have to bring their whole set.
Unless they had a specific
Unless they had
snare or
specific things that
something
they
like
wanted,
that,
they could, they'd want to bring that would be fine. But I'm saying basically we are going to have instruments available so that people don't always have to transport. We have a keyboard that is weighted like a real piano. So
And there will be piles of guitars.
yeah,
piles of guitars.
because Mike is a musician, so
Yeah.
Come down and jam. We'll record it
Excellent.
and help it grow. And there's deals to be had in the early days for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I have, if a person, an artist, has always wanted to offer a workshop or say a class, but we have to call it more of a workshop. If they want to, they say somebody wants to share their passion, but they don't have a space for it. They work out of their home, and they can't really afford to like rent a studio space or a storefront. I do have, like I said, the workshop, the art room, workshop room, or the mini dance studio available to rent on a month-to-month basis.
Excellent.
And I charge $75 for that
Per month.
per month, and
Reasonable.
they can have up to they can offer up to 4 workshops per month at that fee. So
That's pretty reasonable. I would say that's very nice.
I want others to make money, through the space.
Yeah.
As well. I want artists to have a place where they could come and, say they want to test out their passion and see if they could, earn a living as an artist, but they can't afford to, like I said, rent a storefront or a studio outside of their home. So they do most of their work at home, but they need a place that they want to, mostly it's those artists who enjoy sharing their passion through a workshop, kind of I can't really
Educating people.
Yeah, it's not so much, or like an enrichment. We're not really allowed to say that we're offering classes as an academia thing because it's zoned for workshops and meetups.
Yeah.
So we have to call it workshops.
Those
but,
terms are for the institution,
yeah.
for the man. We don't need them.
Right.
So we'll
Basically,
have
it's
workshops
sharing your
all month.
We can have, yep.
Yeah.
So,
actually, I'm going to put you in touch with an organization based out of Chicago and recently moved up to Milwaukee called Dabble, I believe it is. Dabble.com is a website where people with specific talents of a wide variety can post up that they would be doing classes, and you can sign up for these classes. So perhaps getting Dabble, involved with your studio will sort of potentially funnel in, more of those workshops.
Sure, space, because that's always an issue.
Yes.
You don't always want to have a bunch of people come to your home. Although I do, but not everybody does.
Right.
Another thing I'd like to mention about the space is that beyond being a professional artistic venue, it's also a really nice place just to come and hang out. And we're going to evolve it that way so that there's comfy furniture and more every day coming in, where just come and chill.
Yeah,
relax.
you guys got a nice lounge area I saw in there.
Yeah.
and snacks available. And I have some vending machines that I say the more people that use the vending machines.
Okay. Yes. Excellent.
I was going to say that if by using the vending machines, that'll help keep the cost of the workshops, at least the ones that I offer, will keep them at a lower cost. I'm looking into different fellowships and stuff to, so I can keep the cost down for the classes or workshops that I offer. So.
Excellent. Excellent. So we'll have to get that en route. So stop down at the Grand Avenue Mall and check out that studio. I'd like to, while we have you here, ask you a couple things about the city of Milwaukee. And let me ask you, What do you know about public education for art in Milwaukee?
Zero.
Well, I know it's been cut.
pulled, yeah. We talked to someone whose children go to St. Mary's, and I believe that's out west, like someplace, Sussex or somewhere out that direction. And there's nothing. I mean, absolutely no art at all. There's physical education yet, but art and music has been dropped completely. Yeah.
I'm going to be offering workshops. I'm going to be working with parents who homeschool their children, and I'm going to be doing some homeschool art and dance programs for kids that are homeschooled.
Excellent.
To kind of, it's kind of their. I don't think it's with homeschoolers. I don't think it's mandatory that they have art or phy-ed, but
Apparently, it's not mandatory anywhere.
Right. It's yeah, especially, but parents themselves know that it's very important. Plus, when you bring a group of homeschool children together to take a class per se, it also develops their social skills. So sometimes homeschool parents, they all know each other, and so they like to bring their children together in an environment.
Excellent.
And so I've created an environment to offer groups of homeschool kids to come to, and do these. Like I said, I want to talk to I'm going to be setting up some meetings with homeschool parents to develop a curriculum that they're comfortable with, that I'm comfortable with, that all of us will enjoy doing. And then same thing with the dance. But I only teach dance to children aged 2.5 to 6.
Okay.
And I'm looking for other dancers, instructors out there that would love to work with teenagers and adults. I do have a Zumba instructor.
Excellent.
And a hula hoop person.
Oh, absolutely. I think I will have to continue talking after the show here. I
Yes.
think I can
Need some hip hoppers.
certainly put you in touch with a couple of folks. So,
Yes.
So, what it comes down to is, a lot of public education has been removed. Public education for the arts and for music of the like have been stripped away from a lot of youth, elementary, public, not just elementary, even junior high and high school too as well, programs. So if you're out there, if you're listening, you can do what Crystal's doing and create enrichment workshops that educate people, because we don't need an institution to provide these tools, these necessary practices in life. There are other outlets, and it doesn't cost you you don't have to pay a fee always. There's things out there. So create workshops, create educational opportunities for people. What are some other things that you both as an experienced artists and musician, can you suggest, or what would you recommend bringing to the table to these public schools that are moving? Or what would you like to say to these public schools, that are moving these courses?
Bring art back.
I got a few words.
No swearing.
Oh darn! I didn't swear already, did I?
I don't believe so.
The problem with pulling all those creative programs from schooling is, we're creating robots, and I think it's reflected in our society already. I mean, the effect is immediate almost. That stare into your phone, stare into your TV. There's very little creativity that goes on, barring a few. One child I can see right now in front of me, but the home support is there for some, but I mean for most kids come home, they pop in front of the television.
Parents aren't around.
Yep,
that's what they go to.
And we
don't have TV at our place.
We lose a lot of our humanity when all we learn is history. It's nice, but is it important as art? No, I don't think so.
Especially fake history, like we had a Thanksgiving celebration together. Yeah, that happened.
Well, in the Native American community, because I'm Oneida, Hungarian and German, but many times, if you look back at history, in terms of the stories that various tribes would say. They don't always say, this happened in the year 18 something. They'll say, a long time ago. A long time ago, this happened. And these stories get passed down. And we all know that stories get embellished throughout the years. So, but there is always a little piece of truth to any story that there, with the past. So history that's taught in schools should not be taught that it's what's written in the books is verbatim, but that it's a history that's been passed down through generations, and that there will be these embellishments, because even when you write a story based off of a dream, once you wake up, that sometimes your story will have some embellishments based off of this dream, but you'll never be able to tell the dream identical to the way it occurred in your mind. So that, to me, that's like what history is all about. So to force children to try to memorize certain dates and stuff for history, it's kind of I mean, I love numbers, don't get me wrong, but in terms of dates for history, I don't think that should be the most important element in history, but that there should just be always that element of knowing that things do happen and things are repeated, but they become more, past is always repeated in a contemporary format. I mean, same things happen in 1960s that are happening today. Maybe the clothes are a little bit different. The fabrics are made of in this time frame, and some of us wear fabrics from the 1960s and 1970s, but those fabrics have faded. The patterns are kind of faded. So that's what history is. It's like patterns being kind of faded, or fabric that's fading out, and sometimes it wears out, like patch quilts.
And I think it holds true with art and music also being embellished, or contemporary forms of previously done things.
Right.
Everything, I feel, everything, alive essentially is something that's past already. It's we're recycling, and that's a good thing.
Right.
And I feel like it's very important to teach kids that basic principle, and then also to how to be expressive. So what would be something maybe you could suggest to one of these parents who lives in the inner city, who works 2 jobs, and their kid goes to a school that doesn't have music, it doesn't have art? What are some things you could suggest they do to provide that?
Let's see, I'm trying to think of something that's in the household. Get a thing of bobby pins and pour them out in the middle of the table, and have each person create a picture with bobby pins. And then if they have their cell phones or a camera, they take a picture of what they've created with their bobby pins, and then that can be their bobby pin art, and see if there's a relationship that goes with each of the pictures. Or do the old-fashioned I wish I could think what it's called, but artists a long time ago would take a piece of paper, and one artist, they would fold it up, let's say in in a like a column kind of thing, and then one person would draw something, and then they would push the line and then fold that piece over, and then another person would take that and connect that line and draw something over there, so nobody would know what was being drawn. And when you unfold it, it's like one just interesting picture. I mean, everybody has like a piece of paper and has paper and pencils or pens at the house. So I think it would be really, what I'm driving at mostly is, I think with all the stuff that goes on, you don't have to have fancy paintbrushes and acrylic paints or highfalutin oil paints or anything like that. There's materials in your house, such as bobby pins or toothpicks, Q-tips.
Noodles,
rice that you can
Pots
create
and pans.
pictures. Shaving cream, squirt some shaving cream on a cookie sheet and run your fingers through it. Take ice cubes and food coloring and freeze some, put some food coloring in the different ice cubes and then freeze it, and then let it, draw with ice cubes. And I'm relaying all these kinds of projects and art things that I've done with my kids. I think sometimes if you can go back to the art projects that you do with wee little children, age 2.5, 3 years old, I think sometimes an adult needs to go back to those basics And because that just kind of revitalizes that inner child that all of us should keep alive. And so whether you're in the inner city or in the suburbs, or in under South Side, or West Side or East Side or North Side, or underground or way high up in a skyrise, it doesn't matter. If you're in an airplane, there's always something you can find on your own person to create art, even if it's taking a piece of paper and folding it up, or tearing it up in half and tearing it up in little pieces and creating a project with that. I mean, it's only limited to your mind.
So take,
Or unlimited.
so for the youth that isn't having those things accessible to them, to the parents or people, babysitters or whoever is with or without the kids daily or all day or not, when you wake up in the morning, start off by putting some items out on the table, digging your cupboards, find some stuff and put it there with a purpose, with the intention that it's going to be used for creativity, and then just let it roll. But put it out, get the things out and express that there's patterns to be had.
And I know some parents might not appreciate this, but like if you have a young child, and like when you're sitting at the dinner table and you're eating, if some child starts to touch their food and they kind of like squeeze it and they're like manipulating it, and parents think that the kids are playing with food and that's a bad thing, but there are some children, or people I should say, it starts out with kids that they have to understand things tactilely or kinesthetic, which is touching and feeling it, and it's that element. Then they have to taste it. So people learn in in all your senses. Some people learn a lot by smell, by taste, by feeling, by hearing, by visual. A lot of times hearing. Sometimes if a person repeats what another person says, that's the only way they can understand something. And I think in the school systems, they forget that element, that there's this 5 senses that are so important. And in a school situation, teachers don't always have that opportunity to give education to children to what is the word I'm thinking to stimulate all those senses. They will only have the children listen to them, but they don't allow children to repeat what they're saying. So then those kids that need to have their own voice to hear, to understand something, they don't always learn it because they have to keep quiet in a classroom situation. And same thing getting back to the food. So if you're sitting at the dinner table and your child starts to play with your food, the first thing is like, don't play with your food, you're going to mess it up, that kind of thing. But sometimes I think what would be good is you could take a smaller plate and put, a portion of that food on a smaller plate and say, okay, here, you can play with this food and this is the food you eat. So that way that child could still have that chance to develop their creative spirit in a tactile way, feeling the food and tasting it, and that helps them to develop all their senses. And I think we as parents or as adults sometimes forget that these senses are so important and so crucial to ourselves as human beings. So
absolutely.
So I think that would be like I said, some parents would probably get kind of annoyed that I would encourage. I don't want, I'm not saying, throw the food around and all that stuff, because then you're going beyond your personal space. And I'm saying, when they can just keep it maintained and focused, then it's not a bad thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't want to hit your neighbors with food, but
yeah.
Well, then again, in high school, I graduated my senior year, all of a sudden, they had a senior breakfast, and they must have had it planned. I'm sitting there eating my little sausage and pancakes, and all of a sudden, suddenly, food flew everywhere: syrup and sausages and pancakes. And I had never seen it. Suddenly, I was in a cloud of syrup and pancake batter and toast and eggs, and I was just like sitting there, like going, "Oh my God, what's going on?" So I know all about food fights.
Yeah.
Except I tried to duck underneath the table and hide because I was a wuss. Sorry.
Well, so with that said, you dabble in a lot of different mediums.
I do.
Can you tell us a little bit about some things you've done in the past, or some things that you're doing now what sort of various mediums that you are incorporating into your visual work?
In the past, I was focused on a lot of. I started out with pencil, of course, and then some painting, very light painting with acrylic paintings with acrylics paints. Later on, ballpoint pen, and then I always thought that. Initially, I used to believe that drawings were just the beginning to a painting, not realizing I could actually turn a drawing into a true, like, valued piece of art. Like, I've always thought painting, be it oil or acrylic or watercolor, was the, like, creme de la creme. Then when I went back to college in my 40s, I suddenly discovered that drawings with charcoal or with pencil, with ballpoint pen, were beautiful works of art in their own right. They didn't have to be the beginning to a painting, like the idea, the format of an idea or the roots of an idea for a painting, but the piece themselves, the drawings themselves, could become the main art.
Yeah.
And so I've taken that and begun to incorporate what I classify as my doodles. I love to do little tiny doodle sketches, and I've now taken my doodles to a larger scale where I'm working on 4-foot by 20-foot pieces of paper, and I am incorporating paint with them. But I absolutely love working with ballpoint pen in particular, doing minute details. And I've started adhering paper to a canvas so that I can turn these works of art more permanent, more stiff, so that they can present better, on the wall without having to always frame them. Because I think sometimes unframed art has its own beauty.
Absolutely.
But I do love framing and matting. Don't get me wrong. But so I also work with wallpaper, gesso, Mod Podge, fabric. I like to sometimes actually apply the fabric to the canvas for the patterns, but most of the time I love to look at the patterns and then redraw the patterns based off of what's on the fabric, and then I kind of change it a little bit, obscure it. And so but when I do classes with my younger children, we would put yarn on the canvas and real fabric and wallpaper and milk filters that we dyed with watercolor paints, vacuum cleaner filters, coffee filters, and I've actually encouraged the kids to like crinkle up the stuff and bunch it up, and then we adhere it with Elmer's glue, and then I pour Mod Podge over all of that to kind of seal it, and the kids always get a kick of how the texture forms on the surface.
How it dries.
Yeah, so I love textured pieces. I've worked with palette knife and acrylic paint and just globbed the paint onto the canvas to leave these big, like, sound effects there.
Yep.
Squishy
let me get
stuff.
my sound effects button going. Oh,
Yeah.
don't got those yet.
So anyways, so I've kind of taken my art beyond just a paintbrush and acrylic paint, or a paintbrush and watercolor paint, or a paintbrush and oil paint. I've now incorporated, like I said, wallpaper, tissue, milk filters, coffee filters, coffee itself, coffee grounds, salt.
Yes.
Whatever dirt, whatever, grass, blades of grass, whatever exists, whatever you can possibly apply to a canvas and do whatever. I'm creating a secret workshop right now that it's in the midst. I'll present it later on, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's like, it's going to be a grab bag thing. So
A multimedia mystery.
yes, a multimedia mystery.
I like it.
So-
I'll be
And
looking-
another one of the friends of Christelle and I, Jesse Graves, works in mud. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know him.
Absolutely.
But,
I actually have a piece of his hung up over at the Stonefly Brewery on Center Street here.
yeah, He's an
He's
awesome
amazing.
person. A wonderful
Since you
human
threw
being.
his name out there for anybody that tunes in now or later, Jesse Graves, local artist, Milwaukee artist, does also have a gallery of his own down below the Urban Ecology Center, which is just about 2 blocks west of Oakland Avenue on, I believe, I want to say it's Irving, maybe Webster Park. Yes, on Park Street, about 2 blocks west of Oakland Avenue in the Urban Ecology Center, Riverside Park. He has a gallery. There's a downstairs gallery there. I just
He has some pieces there. We went to
discovered
the opening.
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
been there for a few weeks, and I don't know how long it's gonna be up, but if you have time, get down to the Urban Ecology Center and check out. That's a really cool gallery. While you're down there, sign up for membership, and support the Urban Ecology Center. And with a student ID, it's like $12 for a year. Without one, I think it's like 20. It gives you full access to all their recreational equipment, from kayaks and canoes. Without a fee, you can take them out and enjoy local water, or venture out to the suburbs and enjoy them there. They also have other items like soccer balls and tennis rackets and gardening tools. A big variety of things. It's all
Eco-friendly construction, materials, all kinds of.
and they're also doing obviously a lot of workshops there. And it's a extremely kid friendly, and actually I would say more youth oriented environment. But there are a lot of adult enrichment programs there too. But yeah, definitely. Thanks for throwing that out. And
Musical
shout out to Jesse and the work you're doing, man. It's pretty awesome.
It's awesome.
So respect.
Very environmentally conscious man there.
Yeah.
And just an awesome human being as well.
Yeah, I would
I had
agree.
the pleasure of being able to take a couple classes with him, so it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool.
So, where are some places that you are currently showing some work?
Well, over there.
Where you will be showing
Yes.
some work
That's
this
the
weekend
Stonefly.
at
Yeah.
Stonefly Brewing Company, Center in Fratney Street over in River West.
I have some work up in at a cafe bistro up in Wabeno, Wisconsin right now.
Excellent.
I do have two or three pieces in Budapest at a
Excellent.
gallery. I can't think of the name of it.
Visiverosi.
Visiverosi, and I've had, I don't think they have it on display anymore. I did have some a writing at a gallery in Italy, but I think that show just may have ended
Okay.
not too long ago.
Excellent. A piece
On
of
the-
literature.
Yeah, we had to write something, and then what they did is we sent it via email, of course, and then they had
Oh, you didn't hand deliver it with wax stamp on it?
no, no, because part of it was it's almost like is that Saul Lewitt? Sorry, artist of the past. I can't think of your last name. But anyways, he would write directions, and then people would actually redo his art on the walls.
Interesting.
So, what this was about was artists would send, or writers, or anybody could send a writing, and then the art students at the school, the Santa Reparata International School of Art, they had students come and take all these writings, and then they rewrote them on the wall. And I believe that they had to, if they were in English, they had to be written in English. If they're written in any other language, they'd write it to their other language. So I saw the pictures of it, and they got to basically do the layout. So I was a part of that show, but only as a writer for the show. And then the artist, I was like, oh, I wish I could have been there to like be a part of the artistry of writing it out and creating some type of almost a collage of verses. So I think that'd be something that I'd like to do. We should do here.
Excellent.
We should put something together.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Can you tell us maybe some other places around Milwaukee that you have shown work in the past few years?
Well, at the UW's Union Gallery. Prior to that,
I believe I saw your work at Most down
That's right,
in the
Most.
Third Ward a couple of years ago.
and I have some work at the Atrium Spiritual Center currently. And
Where's that located?
in
Greenfield,
Okay.
just off of Grange Road.
Okay.
You
Awesome.
turn by the steakhouse over there.
Okay.
On Grange and
What's it called
60th.
again?
I think it's like the river. What is that? The river.
What was the name of the place? One more time. Sorry.
the Atrium,
The Atrium. Okay. All right.
Rolling Meadows Spiritual Center, something like that.
Okay.
And then I've, as Suzanne reminded me, I was an artist for Bastille Days for about 9 years, but I haven't been there for a couple of years.
Okay.
I've participated in the open canvas for the fundraiser for MIA, Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design students scholarships. My paintings have raised about a little over $10,000 in the past 9 years that I participated.
Excellent.
So I feel good that I've helped to, get art students in schools, get some money at least for their schooling, for art supplies, whatever, So I've had shows at like Wagner Cafe in Bayview, which is not there anymore because that was a long time ago. Vito Volante's gallery, which was at used to be at the Paps area. It was apartments or something, but his gallery was over there. That was a long time ago too. I've showed at Charles Ellis Art Museum when I was the president of the Intertribal Art Visions for about 6 years. We had several group shows at Charles Ellis Art Museum at the
Excellent.
I can't think of. I mean, there's so many. There's a lot more, but I just
That's great.
it's about 20 years worth of artwork showing.
Excellent.
On and off. Actually, yeah, pretty much at least one show a year. So I just can't remember them all.
Right. Sure.
I apologize.
And currently at
Brought
the
list.
at the UC in the Grand Avenue Mall.
Yeah. Putting some piece
That's
up
right.
there as well. And perhaps we have a friend stop in. Well, your sister, is that correct? Sister-in-law.
Yeah, soul sister.
Susan, would you like to say hello to the audience? You want to have a seat for a second?
Sure.
I understand you're opening up a business here in River West.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Can you tell us where that's going to be, what it's called, and maybe a little bit about what you're going to be doing over there?
Yeah, it's going to be, it's located at 2611 North Bremen Street. And it's going to be a cooperative for local designers. And
Excellent.
What else?
What kind of designers? More graphic or fashion-esque or?
Well, I have a blacksmith and clothing and jewelry and more artsy stuff like
Yeah.
Jesse Graves. I was actually talking to him about doing some kind of work. Yeah, and maybe having him do some mud for my signs or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I love that concept.
When will you be opening?
Sometime in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the name of the shop's going to be?
It's Chulial, and it's a Mayan word for we're all connected.
Mm-hmm. Chulial.
Yeah.
So look out for Chulial on 2611
Yeah.
Bremen.
North Bremen Street, right across from the church.
Excellent.
St. Casper.
Kicking off the summer
Yep.
with some new local business there. And that's going to be open to the public. Do you have maybe approximate store hours that people can kind of expect to?
Yeah, I think I'm going to
Stop
start
in
with
there.
like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, like starting opening in the afternoon
Okay.
and going into like maybe 9 or 10 at night.
Okay.
Like 3 in the afternoon to like 9 or 10 in the
Nice. Okay. Very nice.
River West hours.
Yeah.
evening. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
where all the
like
foot
Italy.
traffic is happening.
It's like
So-
The early
Yeah,
birds get
it's
up
like a little
and
parrots over
Yes.
here.
get up and they leave the neighborhood, do their things, and all the other cats get their day started in the afternoon. I think
Yeah.
it's probably about
They
right.
sleep in the morning. Like
When I
cats.
was in Italy, in Italy, they didn't start their day till about 10, 11 o'clock. It seemed, and they went into like dinner was at
Sorry.
like, dinner in Italy would be around 9 o'clock at night till 11. So
Yeah.
and then
sure.
things were just hip hopping at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
So who said you had to be afraid to walk the streets of Italy at night? It wasn't scary at all. There was tons of people like
Yeah.
daytime.
I still
not really scary
I still
walking
feel
in
like
the
it's still pretty kosher to walk around in the evening. I had a chance to go there once actually myself a couple years back. And
Awesome.
beautiful, beautiful country and excellent people.
And I hope to have you, Chris, to our the Underground Collaborative to help out with the gallery,
Absolutely.
the hallway gallery. I haven't thought of a name yet, so maybe you can come up with a really cool cat name.
Okay.
Yeah, shameless plug for Odyssey. Chris hangs a mean show, so
Yeah.
if you need your art hung, you call this man.
That's right. Call me up. I'm not even gonna deny that. You can find my number and contact at artmilwaukee.com/Odyssey. You can find the Odyssey tab on the homepage as well. If you go there, you'll see a very slim but new gallery featuring all local artists, and also a place if you're an artist to submit your work, and also if you're a business or event planner of sorts and you need somebody to come in and hang a mean show, you can submit your request on there, and or just give me a phone call. It's right on the website. So I appreciate that. But yeah, we're going to be getting down to the UC at the Grand Avenue and definitely hanging up some work in the near future. I think once you guys are ready, just give us a call and we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And being I don't want to say ex River West because I still love it here, but I don't live on this side of town anymore. Pretty much downtown right now I live, but
Yeah.
West Dallas and downtown. But the River West crowd I know is like a lot of campers. People that like to go out and for the weekend into the woods. We spoke about the Big Eagle Gallery, which is in Wabeno. It's about a 4-hour road trip from here. The most amazing food you'll ever eat.
Very reasonable prices too.
Cheap.
So Wabeno Gallery is also...
It's called the Big Easel.
the
Big
Big
Easel.
Easel. Oh.
Gallery Bistro, and there's amazing art. The place is a museum, pretty much. So, if you want to take your road trip, jump in the Volkswagen bus and,
Yeah.
get on. It's a real easy trip, if you just, the Big Easel has.
If you're a
website, I
musician, you
believe.
get to play your music
Yeah,
there.
and you play for your
and
food and all that stuff.
You can play for
Nice.
tips. They put the tip jar out for any musician to play, and whatever tips get gathered during that time
And
frame
it's
is
the-
yours.
Nice.
It's in their home, which is it was a lumber baron's mansion. I mean, just the little ghostly lore to
and there's
it
a
and all that.
campground there as well.
All around the area.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
that's the Nicolay
public-
Forest, Forest County,
Okay.
that area. So
Yeah.
you can stop and gamble in Carter if you want. It's right down
Carter's
the road.
only a half-hour drive away from there. If you're that kind of
But
person
yeah, just
that loves to gamble.
it's a neat place, for if you're heading up north, check that out because it's it should be in the Wisconsin destinations book.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
Excellent.
very small, low key, but
Excellent plug there. Very nice. Well, if you don't have a car, where would you recommend somebody go in Milwaukee here? Downtown, Bayview, North Side, East Side. Where's a place you could recommend people who are just moving into the city and wanting to share, or wanting to experience something in Milwaukee? Where would you recommend people go for some entertainment, maybe for some eats, or maybe there's an event coming up that you in this summer that you'd like to plug that you'd be interested in sharing?
Wow. There's just so much.
Parks, the music in the park.
Oh, that's right. There's jazz in the park. Down at the
Cathedral Square.
Cathedral Square. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Park on Tuesdays.
Caddish Park on Tuesdays.
Humboldt Park.
Humboldt Park's Chill on the Hill in Bayview Tuesday nights.
Tuesday nights.
And I think Monday nights, the COA Park off of North Avenue has.
Yeah, that's Caddish. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Caddish. Music down there. So lots of, music in the parks is a pretty popular thing. What's a restaurant that you guys have been to recently?
Oh, what's that? The one on West Dallas. The
76, just South Oklahoma.
both.
Tonino's
yeah.
Italian restaurant. It's a little tiny bar
Delicious.
place, but amazing.
So good.
Anybody who's a fan of conch, it's probably the only place in the entire city you can get it.
Really?
And
If you
it's
don't mind eating
and it's good.
shellfish.
Yeah.
It's
Fish.
delicious.
It's delicious.
But yeah, all their
And I'm not even that kind of a fish person,
Yeah.
but
it's a pizza
I will
pub,
eat that.
and
Yeah.
they have everything there. Like you can get hamburgers and stuff too. But
Nice. Nice.
it's delicious, and
The-
it won't break the bank either. You can spend a lot of money there if you want to, but
Yeah.
it's also
What's another
reasonable.
one on Highway 100, the one we were just at? There's a
Singhai Thai
Singhai
on
Thai.
Highway 100 in Lincoln. If you want to burn your taste buds, that's the place to go.
I always can eat only about 3 or 4 spoonfuls of food, and then my face is all red, and I'm like, I have to take this home and have Mike tone it down for me. But if you love hot, like food,
Good. Authentic
Thai,
Excellent.
that's a good place to go.
Although the waiter told me that they tone the peppers down for the Americans. They fry them before they put them in the food.
Yeah.
They said
Rather than raw.
In Thailand they don't. They put them right in there. But they said that would be. He told me it would be too hot for the customers. I told
See?
them next time just to leave them raw for me.
And people think that West Dallas doesn't have good food restaurants, but they really do.
Excellent.
And I do love Bayview area, and I loved her South Side. I grew up under South Side, and I guess all areas of Milwaukee are pretty cool. I really.
How about River West? Where's a place that you've been to recently here, or that maybe you used to be a frequent or can
Fuel
recommend?
Cafe.
the Fuel Cafe, man?
Fuel
We were just
Cafe.
there, ate some food.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Very nice.
I can
very
see
nice.
it now. Yeah, I just had a spinach and provolone roll up that they warmed up. That was like one of the best things I ever ate.
Excellent.
It's delicious.
That's Fuel, right next door to River West Video, that on Center Street.
And this interview was fueled by the Fuel Cafe.
Yeah, we're drinking
Brought
coffee.
to you
If we're
today.
talking faster by the minute, you know why.
For those of you tuning in now, better late than never. Hello, my name is Christopher Rose. This is a presentation of Odyssey Local Artist Interviews, better known as OLAi, which is a live streaming internet talk show Thursday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m. Available to listen to at www.riverwestradio.com. We bring in locally established artists to get to know them and more about the city as we take a glance at their perspectives on what's happening on the inside of Milwaukee's creative culture. And again, I wanted to thank Michael and Christelle for coming down tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Absolutely. And for those of you who have tuned in late, make sure you stop down to the Grand Avenue Mall and check out their new studio space located
UC.
in the Plankton building of the Grand Avenue Mall off of Wisconsin Plankton Avenue via the TJ Maxx entrance. You can enter there and go down the spiral stairs and find their office down there on the lower level. So for more information, you can find...
There's a Facebook page for the UC out there.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you what it is. Matt created that. So Matt Kempel. If you find I think you just probably search for Underground Collaborative.
Yeah.
On there and
You can look.
Absolutely.
You can look up on my website www.studiocristel.me, and Mike has posted articles about the UC that Matt has
press releases.
press
around the
releases
city.
that have already been taking place for the center.
Okay, there you have it there. Thank you all for tuning in, and hope you have a great week. We'll catch you next week, 6 p.m. This has been Odyssey Local Artist Interviews. My name is Christopher Rose, bidding you well. Have a good weekend. Thank you.